Okay, let's talk about retirement. How much money do you need to retire? Do you even know?
Kyle, should we even know?
What do you mean, should we even know? Do you want to retire?
I'm already retired.
Okay, fine. Do you know how much you need to retire? And I'm not talking about retire at 65 years old, where you're collecting old age pension and you're if you have any RSPs or IRA funds waiting for you. Do you know how much money you would need today to retire? No. Well, according to literature and actuarial research that's out there, if you are born in the 80s, 70s and 80s, you need $1.8 million to retire today.
What?
If you are born in the 90s, or if you are a millennial, you will need about $2.5 million to retire.
Kyle, that's impossible. It's not like most people put nothing aside. How are they expected to have $2.5 million by the age of 65 to have a comfortable retirement? Tell me.
Indeed. So if you don't already have that money in your account, don't worry. We're here to help. So let's go back to return on investments, interest rates, because that's the key to this whole story. If you have a good job, let's say you have a good job, you're earning $100,000 a year, and you manage to put aside $25,000 of that every year. Okay, you are scraping, you are cutting corners, you're eating craft dinner. You are putting $25,000 a year every year. And let's say you started earning that salary at 20 years old. Well, between 20 and 30, how much money will you have amassed? $25,000 times 10 years, you've earned $250,000. Okay, so you're on the right path, right? That number is going up. Okay. What about between 30 and 40? Another $250,000. Between 40 and 50. Between 50 and 60. So by age 60, you have $1 million. But your retirement is 5 years away, right? Even with a high-paying job, saving $25,000 a year.
That's insane.
It's insane. Who does that? No one can do that.
No.
For 40 years consecutively, that means you'll never have to buy a car, you'll never have to buy a house, you'll never have to change the roof on that house, you'll never have to pay for your kids' education, you'll never have to...
You can't. You just can't.
You just can't. So how in the world can we amass 1.8, 2.5, or if we wanted, 10 million, 20 million in one lifetime in order to retire before 65 years old? How do we do that? Interest rates. Okay. So now, rather than just taking your salaried money and putting it, under your mattress every year, putting that $25,000 every year and putting it under a mattress, and
or in a savings account that's literally making you lose money.
Or let's be honest, putting it under the mattress and putting it in the savings account is the same thing, because the savings account is earning you 0.00 nothing ish. Once it's nothing. Okay, so don't even think you're earning something. You're not earning anything. Did you know that there's this quick trick mathematically to see how long it takes an investment to double simply with the interest rate that money is invested at? No? Well, math geek, math guy, here's the trick. It's called the rule of 72. And it's actually quite accurate. I've done the models. Very accurate. It's not just it works approximately. It's really quite accurate. And this rule, this is how you do it. You take 72 and you divide it by the interest rate. So, for example, if you have an investment opportunity that's offering you 1%, like a bank savings account, you take 72 and you divide by 1. 72 divided by 1? 72 years to double an investment at that interest rate.
Are you saying, Kyle, that if I'm putting $1,000 aside every year in my savings account, I'm going to be dead by the time I see $2,000 in that same account?
That's exactly right.
That's interesting.
If you put $1,000 today in a bank savings account at 1%, which is better than what they're offering, it will take 72 years for that $1,000 to become $2,000. It's okay. So it's not growing. Okay, it's not. It will not grow.
Oh, and there's inflation.
Oh yeah, right. There's inflation eating away 2% of that. So you're losing. Let's say we go to an aggressive GIC, if such a thing exists, and it's offering you 3%. Okay? Let's take inflation aside just for the purpose of this calculation. In how many years will that investment double? Rule of 72. 72 divided by 3, which is the interest rate on that investment. 72 divided by 3 is 24 years to double that investment. Let's take it up again. You put $10,000 in a GIC. Let's say you're 20 years old. By the time you're 44, you will have 20,000. Now that 20,000 will double in 24 years. So from 44 to 68, you're now at $40,000. So it had time to double almost by the time you typically retire at 65 years old. Right? Better doubling twice than doubling once. Next level up. Let's say you have an RSP that's earning you 6%. Okay? Medium risk, typical RSP, generally 6%, makes sense. Rule of 72, work it with me. 72 divided by 6 is 12 years to double your investment. Now we're getting interesting. Let's say you're great, I almost said fresh out of the bank, fresh out of school, or at 20 years old, you put $10,000 in RSP. By the time you're 32, you're at 20,000. By the time you're at 44, it doubles, 40,000. By the time you're at, what am I at? 56. I might have messed up my numbers here, but you're at 80,000. Did I do this right? I might be all over the place, but you get it. You have time to double 20 to 65, 3 to 4 times in one lifetime. So at 10,000 becomes 20, becomes 40, becomes 80, baby, becomes $160,000. Much better than your 1% investment that doubled once, but we're not at 1.8 or 2.5 million yet, are we? No. Let's say we have an investment at 12%. Rule of 72. 72 divided by 12 is 6 years. It doubles every 6 years. Now, is that interesting? Well, you tell me. If it doubles every 6 years and you start at 20 and you want to retire at 65, how many 6 years do you have between 20 and 65? That's 45. You have 7. 7 and change. 7 and change doublings until 65. So that means you're doubling 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Your investment of $10,000 will multiply by 128. Do the numbers. You put in $10,000 once at age 20, and it becomes $1.28 million when you're ready to retire at 65, if you want to retire at 65. One investment of $10,000 with an interest rate that's interesting. So that's why they call it interesting, right? It's interesting, all right? So make sure you're using the right phonetics when you're involved in this topic. So one investment of $10,000 can almost bring you to retirement if you're putting it in the right investment vehicle. That's one decision. That's one $10,000. What if year 2 you put another $10,000 at 12%? Suddenly, you're at $2.5 million for 2 years. That was a good decision on year 20, a good decision on year 21. What if year 3 you put another $10,000? Year 4 you put another $10,000? This is basic stuff. Interest rate. So basically, my point that I'm trying to drive home here is that is an interest rate of 12% 12 times better than an interest rate at 1%? No. It is so much more. Give it time to grow. Your interest is compounding, and one good decision can set you up for your retirement. I hope this was illuminating. Sun's starting to come down now, so I guess that was a bit of a long-winded explanation. But I'm glad you stick through it. I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you're making your money work for you as hard as you're currently working for your money. What is the best employee you can have? It's an employee that doesn't sleep, that doesn't eat, that doesn't need to go to the bathroom, that never asks for vacations.
What kind of employee is that?
What kind of employee is that? It's the type of employees I have. Janie has.
Woohoo!
Any good investor has. The best employee is your money. Make your money work for you. And be a bad boss, okay? Just never let them stop working. Put them to work and keep working them. And then that money's going to earn money. They're going to have baby employees. What do you do with those baby employees? Jay?
You put them to
You
work.
put them to work. Because guess what? There's no slavery laws on money. Those kind of employees you can use and abuse.
Woohoo!
We're in a society that this is permitted. And I mean, it's money, right? It's not people. You do it. Do it. All right, that's good enough. So once again, remember, Wiminji, we mine now for tomorrow. Happy investing. Talk soon.